Hello learners, welcome to program Food Fundamentals and Chemistry. This is course MVP 001, Block 1, Unit 4. Today we will be learning about Ayurvedic medicinal foods, honey, genetically modified foods and organic foods, which is part of Unit 4, Other Foods. Myself, Dr. Shalini Kushwaha, working as Assistant Professor in Indira Gandhi National Open University. Now, after studying this unit, you will be able to know what are the Ayurvedic medicinal foods, honey, genetically modified foods and organic foods. Also, you can describe each categories of these foods. You can explain the importance of these foods in the present scenario and you can comprehend safety concerns about these foods. Now, let's learn first about Ayurvedic medicinal foods. Ayurvedic medicinal system in the ancient healing and healthcare system that is native to the Indian subcontinent. It is presently in daily use by millions of people in India, Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. It has also a major influence on Unani, Chinese and Tibetan medicines. Ayurveda is made up of two words, Ayu meaning life and Veda meaning science. So Ayurveda in totally means science of life. It incorporates all aspects of life, whether physical, psychological, spiritual or social. Now let's learn about what is the history of Ayurvedic medicinal foods. It is believed that it was first compiled as a text by Agnivesha in book Agnivesh Tantra, which was written during Vedic times. The book was later revised by Charak and renamed as Charak Samhita, Encyclopedia of the Physician Charak. Other early text of Ayurveda includes the Charak Samhita and the Sushruta Samhita. Now, let's learn about composition of the Ayurvedic medicinal foods. Ayurveda operates on the principle that various materials of vegetable, animal and mineral origin have some medicinal value. The medicinal properties of these materials have been documented by the practitioners and have been used for centuries to cure illnesses and or help maintain good health. Ayurveda also brought in a food classification system that categorizes any item as sattvic, rajasic or tamasic. Each was deemed to have a powerful effect on the body and the mind. There are also Ayurvedic restorative tonics like Chyawanprash and Live 52 liver regenerator that are getting international attention. Ayurvedic medicaments are made from herbs or mixtures of herbs, either alone or in combination with minerals, metals and other ingredients of animal origin. The metals, animals and minerals are purified by specified processes before being used for medicinal purposes. About 600 medicinal plants products, 52 minerals and 50 animal products are among the commonly used. Ayurvedic medicines are marked in various forms. The main ones are tablets, pills, powders, fermented products, decoctions, medicated fats, drops, creams, lotions and ointments. Dried plant extracts in capsules form are also in use presently. So, there are some safety concerns also for using Ayurvedic medicinal foods. So, Ayurvedic medicines involved at the time when modern clinical tests were absent. Some evidences have come up to indicate that using some Ayurvedic preparations, especially Those having herbs and metals involve serious risks, including toxicity. In a study done in the USA, 20% of the Ayurvedic herbal medicines manufactured by the 27 companies, in which 26 Indian and one Pakistani company, were found to contain heavy metals such as lead, mercury, and arsenic. Besides, some of the products contain metals such as gold, silver, and tin, which are unsafe for human body. Therefore, there is a need for rigorous scientific studies and clinical trials for many of the Ayurvedic products used. India introduced regulations on heavy metal content in Ayurvedic formulations in 2005. The notification of October 14, 2005 made testing for arsenic, lead, mercury, and cadmium mandatory for export purposes. Permissible limits for arsenic, lead, and cadmium are as per the recommendations of the World Health Organization, and in the case of mercury, the permissible limit is 1 part per million. The regulations now require that the container of Ayurvedic drugs to be exported must display the word heavy metals within permissible limits. This is not mandatory for sale within the country. The government has also sent order to the state licensing authorities to ensure strict compliance to good manufacturing practices and cancel the licenses of those who do not comply. Now, next learn about honey. Honey is a sweet and viscous fluid processed from the nectar of flowers by the honey bees. According to various international food regulations, honey stipulates a pure product that does not allow for the addition of any other substances. This includes water or other sweeteners. Honey is significantly sweeter than table sugar and has attractive chemical properties for baking. Honey has a distinctive flavor, that's why some people prefer it over sugar and other sweeteners. Most microorganisms do not grow in honey because of its low water activity, that is zero point 0.6. However, it is important to note that honey frequently contains dormant endospores of the bacteria Clostridium botulinum, which can be dangerous to infants as the endospores can transform into toxins producing bacteria in the infant's immature intestinal tract and leading to illnesses and even death. So, what is the composition of honey? Honey is a mixture of sugar and other compounds. The composition of honey is fructose 38%, glucose 31%, and other sugars 9%, water 17%, ash 0.17%, and other substances 3.38%. The main carbohydrates in honey are fructose and glucose, making it similar to the synthetically produced inverted sugar syrup. Honey's remaining carbohydrates includes maltose, sucrose, and other complex carbohydrates. Honey has trace amounts of several vitamins and minerals. Chromium, manganese, selenium are the important trace elements present in the honey. It contains tiny amount of different compounds like ricin, pinobanxin, vitamin C, catalase, pinosembrine that act as antioxidants. Olfactory and sensory tests are generally used for judging the quality of honey, such as aroma, color, consistency, and taste. Now, let's learn about uses and health benefits. The main use of honey are in cooking, baking, as a spread on the bread, and as an addition to various beverages such as tea and as a sweetener in commercial beverages. Honey is also an important functional food. It is the main ingredient in the alcoholic beverages called neat and also known as honey wine or honey beer. For at least 2700 years, honey has been used to treat a variety of ailments. The antiseptic and antibacterial properties of honey was scientifically proved only recently. As an antimicrobial agent, honey may have the potential for treating a varieties of ailments. Now next learn about the osmotic effect of the honey. Honey is primarily a saturated mixture of two monosaccharides. This mixture has a low water activity, thus very less water is available to the microorganism, and this creates a poor environment for microbial growth. Raw honey also contains an enzyme called glucose oxidase that, when combined with water, produces hydrogen peroxide, which acts as a mild antiseptic. When used topically or on wound dressing, hydrogen peroxide is produced by dilution with body fluid, and as a result, hydrogen peroxide is released slowly and act as an antiseptic. Topical honey has been used successfully in a comprehensive treatment of diabetic ulcers when the patient cannot use other topical antibiotics. The pH of honey is commonly between 3.2 and 4.5. The relative acidic pH levels prevent the growth of many bacteria. Antioxidants in honey have been shown to reduce the damage done to the colon in colitis. Some studies also suggested that the topical use of honey may reduce udder, swelling, and scarring when used to treat wounds. It may also prevent the dressing with sticking to the healing wound. Honey, especially when combined with lemon, is often taken orally by pharyngitis and laryngitis sufferers in order to soothe them. There are some safety concerns also for using honey. Due to the natural presence of botulinum endospores in honey, children under 1 year of age should not be given honey. Adults and older children have developed digestive system which can destroy these spores, so they can take. Honey produced from some flowers may cause honey intoxication. Symptoms include dizziness, weakness, excessive perspiration, nausea and vomiting. Sometimes low blood pressure, shock, heart rhythm, irregularities and convulsions may also occur, with rare cases resulting in death. Honey intoxication is more likely when using natural, unprocessed honey and honey from farmers who have a small number of hives. Commercially processing with pooling of honey from numerous sources generally dilutes any toxins. Thus, it is advisable to purchase honey from a reputed company. Now, learn about the genetically modified foods. Genetically modified foods are foodstuffs produced from genetically modified microorganisms whose genome has been altered through engineering. Genetic modification is a special set of technologies that alter the genetic makeup of living organisms such as animals, plants, or bacteria. Genetically modified foods or GM foods have been modified in the laboratory to enhance desired traits such as increased resistance to herbicides or improved nutritional content. Traditionally, breeding was used to enhance quality of a plant, but conventional plant breeding methods can be very time consuming and are often not very accurate. Genetic engineering, on the other hand, can create plants with the exact desired trait very rapidly and with great accuracy. For example, plant genetics can isolate a gene responsible for drought tolerance and insert that gene into a different plant. The new genetically modified plant will gain drought tolerance as well. Not only can gene be transferred from one plant to another, but gene from non-plant origin can also be used. The best known example of this is the use of soil bacteria (Bt) in improving a variety of crops like corn, cotton, soya bean, and tomato. Bt is a naturally occurring bacterium that produces crystals protein that are lethal to insect larvae. Bt crystal protein genes have been transformed into corn, enabling the corn to produce its own pesticides against insects such as European corn borer. A majority of herbicides and insect resistant soybeans, corn, cotton, canola, and alfalfa have been developed. Others are rice with increased iron and vitamins, potato with increased vitamin C, and so on. Studies are also being done on bananas and tomatoes that produce human vaccines against infectious diseases such as hepatitis B. Such foods are also called as edible vaccines. Fish that mature more quickly, cows that are resistant to bovine spongiform encephalopathy, and fruits and nut trees that yields years earlier, and plants that produce new plastics with unique properties. In 2006, countries that grew 97% of global transgenic crops were the United States, 53%, Argentina 17%, Brazil 11%, Canada 6%, India 4%, China 3%, and South Africa 1%. Now, let's learn about some technology used in genetically modified foods. The process of combining genes with different organisms is known as recombinant DNA technology, and the resulting organism is said to be genetically modified or genetically engineered or transgenic. In the process of producing a GMO used for GM foods, DNA from one organism is taken, modified in a laboratory, and then inserted into the target organism genome to produce new and useful trait. Other methods of producing a GMO includes increasing or decreasing the number of copies of a gene already present in the target organism, silencing or removing a particular gene, or modifying the position of a gene within the genome. So, what are the benefits of using GM foods? As the population is growing fast, ensuring an adequate food supply is going to be a major challenge in the years to come. GM food promises to meet this need in a number of ways with properties like pest resistance, herbicide tolerance, disease resistance, cold tolerance and drought tolerance, salinity tolerance, and tailored for better nutrition and therapeutic purposes. What are the risks related to GM foods? So, environmental activists, religious organizations, public interest groups, professional associations, and other scientists and government officials have raised concerns about GM foods for the risk associated with them. Some of these risks are like allergenicity. Many children in the United States of America and Europe have developed life-threatening allergies to peanuts and other foods. There is a possibility that introducing a gene into a plant may create a new allergen or cause an allergic reaction in susceptible individuals. There are some unknown effects also on human health, like there is a growing concern that introducing foreign gene into food plants may have an unexpected and negative impact on human health. Genetically modified organisms may have increased resistance to the antibiotics used to treatment of various diseases. It has been found that GM crops may kill other harmless organisms also, like, for example, Bt corn, which kills the insect larvae, also kills harmless butterflies caterpillar. Bt cotton kill many species of insect larvae indiscriminately. It is not possible to design a Bt toxin that would only kill crop damaging pests and remain harmless to all other insects. This would affect the environment adversely and lead to loss of flora and fauna biodiversity. Reduced effectiveness of pesticides is also observed. Just as some population of mosquitoes develop resistance to the now banned pesticide DDT, many people are concerned that insect will become resistant to BT or other crops that have been genetically modified to produce their own pesticides. Gene transfer to non-targeted species is also a concern that the crop plant engineered for herbicide tolerance and weeds will crossbreed, resulting in the transfer of the herbicide resistance gene from the crops into the weeds. These superweeds would then be herbicide tolerant as well. Other introduced genes may cross over into non-modified crops planted next to genetically modified crops. There could be a domination of world food production by a few companies, increased dependence on industrialized nations by developing countries, and biopiracy, that is foreign exploitation of natural resources. This is also one of the concern. There are ethical issues also. People have raised like violation of natural organisms, intrinsic values, tampering with nature by mixing genes among species, objection to consuming animal genes in plants and vice versa, and stress for animals. When we talk about the regulations in India, the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India (FSSAI) issued the draft regulation Food Safety and Standards Genetically Modified Food Regulation 2022, which apply on genetically modified organisms intended for food use. Then food ingredients produced from GMO that contain modified DNA, and third, food ingredients produced from GMO that do not contain modified DNA. It includes ingredients, additives, processing aids derived from GMO. This is a draft regulation. In Japan, the Ministry of Health and Welfare has announced that health testing of GM foods will be mandatory. Currently, testing of GM foods is voluntary. Some states in Brazil have banned GM crops entirely. Europe now requires mandatory food labeling of GM foods in stores. Like example, genetically modified or produced from genetically modified, name of the product, or contain genetically modified, that name of the product should be appear on the list of the ingredient or the package. Consumer interest groups wish that all GM foods manufacturing companies should consult FDA so that all GM foods and food products must be approved by the FDA before being released for commercialization. In January 2000, an international trade agreement for labeling GM foods was established, and more than 130 countries including USA, the largest food producer of GM foods, signed the agreement. The policy states that export must be required to label all GM foods and that importing countries have the right to judge for themselves the potential risk and reject GM foods if they want. Now let's learn about organic foods. Organic foods are foods that are grown by organic farming. Organic farming is a form of agriculture which does not use synthetic fertilizers and pesticides, plant growth regulators, and livestock feed additives. As far as possible, organic farmers rely on crop rotation, crop residues, animal manures, and mechanical cultivation to maintain soil productivity, to supply plant nutrients, and to control weeds, insects, and other pests. It enhances the health of ecosystem and organisms. Organic crops are grown without the use of conventional pesticides, artificial fertilizers, human waste, or sewage sludge, and are processed without ionizing radiations or food additives. For animals, it means they are reared without the routine use of antibiotics and without the use of growth hormones. In most countries, organic produce must not be genetically modified. Increasingly, organic food production is legally regulated. A certified organic label is usually the only way for consumers to know that a processed product is organic. What are the advantages of using organic foods? Many survey and studies have shown that organic farming is less damaging to the environment. Organic farms do not release synthetic pesticides into the environment, some of which have the potential to harm local wildlife. Organic farms are better than conventional farms at sustaining diverse ecosystem, that is population of plants and insects as well as animals. Also, organic farm use less energy and produce less waste. Organically managed soil has higher quality and higher water retention. This may help increase yields for organic farms in drought years. That is, crop might be better even in drought conditions as there is more water in the soil. It is well known that using pesticides affects health of the farmers also. Contact with pesticides may cause acute health problems such as abdominal pain, dizziness, headache, nausea, vomiting, as well as skin and eye problems. There have been many other studies that have found pesticides exposure is associated with more severe health problems. Organic farming protects farmers from these problems. Studies showed that organically grown foods consistently had much less pesticide residues than conventional grown foods. Thus, organic foods are much safer than the normal ones. Several studies have also concluded that organic foods are better in taste and texture. Even nutrient content is also high in these as shown by many studies. However, all this is still under study and not proved conclusively. There are some concerns also for using organic foods. Cost is the major factor. Critics claim that organic food is more expensive than conventional food and not affordable to persons having lower income. Organic products typically cost 10 to 40% more than similar conventional products produced. This is because farmers who grow organic food have to meet strict quality standards to have their products certified organic. More labor is required to achieve this, bringing up the cost. Organic farming standards do not allow the use of synthetic pesticides. The most common organic pesticide accepted for restricted use by most organic standards include Bt, pyrethrum, and rotenol. Some organic pesticides, such as rotenol, have high toxicity to fish and aquatic creatures, with some toxicity to mammals, including humans. Thus, they may not be absolutely safe. When we talk about the regulations for organic foods, increasingly organic farming is defined by formal standards regulating production methods and final output. There are two types of standards, voluntary and legislated. Earlier, voluntary standards created by private producers were popular, but since 1990s, a trend towards legislation of standards began. Notably, the EU UCO regulation of the European Union. An international framework for organic farming is provided by International Federation of Organic Agriculture Movement. Legislated standards vary from country to country. In India, guidelines and standards for organic agriculture were announced in May 2001, and the national program on organic production is administered under the Ministry of Commerce. To be certified, organic products must be grown and manufactured in a manner that adhere to standards set by the country in which they are sold. Different countries put their organic seals on the products that conform to the standards. In our country, the certified organic products can be identified by a trademark India Organic logo. The logo represents the trademark India Organic and is owned by the Government of India. Only the inspection and certification agencies accredited by EPIDA are authorized to use the India Organic logo and grant the operator to use it for further products. The use of license is regulated under the Organic Product Certification Mark Regulation 2002. So now let's sum up what we have learned. Ayurvedic foods have created a lot of interest in the food scientists and they use traditional system of medication but have raised a lot of concern also in the West because of their supposedly high level metal content. GM foods that have improved nutritional value, increased disease resistance, and that also act as edible vaccine still have ethical and health issues in using them. Organic foods are grown without pesticides and are environment friendly but are more expensive than conventional foods. An aspiring food expert has to understand all these concepts, learning about the various foods that we have discussed in this unit, their composition, health benefits, risk or disadvantages, and regulations would help a food scientist widen his or her vision. Thank you so much. Wish you happy learning.